Are you a manager that's worried that AI is coming for your job? Well, I have some good news and bad news for you. The bad news is that AI has become increasingly good at some of those more managerial tasks like tracking and reports and data. But the good news? AI, it still can't replace you as a leader, the thing that makes you empathetic and emotionally intelligent. If you want to stay a step ahead of the computers, start focusing on becoming the most emotionally intelligent people leader you can be and let the computer take your busy work away. Today, we're exploring why your ability to understand, manage, and connect through emotions isn't just a soft skill you pay lip service to. It's a dividing line between leaders who are going to become obsolete and those who will become irreplaceable in the age of AI. So let's get real right now about what AI can and cannot do right now. AI, it is getting frighteningly good at certain things. It can diagnose diseases. It can write decent poetry. It can even create art. Not particularly great art, but art. Automated systems can schedule your meetings, prioritize your emails, and remind you what day your mom's birthday is. But here's what keeps AI developers up at night. Their creations still can't replicate human emotion and genuinely understand how it feels to be human. AI, it can simulate it, but it can't actually feel it. It can analyze emotional patterns, but it can't experience that nuanced mix of pride and anxiety when your team is about to launch a risky new project. It's not going to inspire. It can't feel the tension in a room when two team members are having issues with one another. It can't sense when someone's enthusiasm is genuine or when they're just faking it and telling you what you want to hear. It won't sense when your best people are showing signs of burnout. All of this is for you as the emotionally intelligent people leader that you are, or that maybe you currently just aspire to be. And even if AI someday simulates these things convincingly, people won't want to just be led by algorithms. We're social creatures. We crave authentic connection. We want to know our leaders understand not just what we do, but who we are and how we feel when we're doing it. This is where emotional intelligence becomes your career defining advantage. So, what is emotional intelligence really? Well, emotional intelligence at its core it's remarkably straightforward. It's about understanding and managing emotions, both yours and others, to create better outcomes. Hi, I'm Emily Haverkamp. I'm a Gallup certified strength coach. I have over 5 years experience as a manager, and I have a master's in industrial and organizational psychology. I've seen in my own work and through my studies all the many ways that the most important thing a manager can do is to build trust and to have emotional intelligence to lead their team. Daniel Goleman, who didn't invent it but made it popular, breaks down emotional intelligence into four main components. First, there's self awareness, knowing what you're feeling and why you're feeling it. It's catching yourself when you're getting irritated and recognizing that. You regulate it some. You think, oh, wait, I'm not actually mad at Jade's proposal. I'm stressed about this whole other thing, this deadline. It's all spilling over into, into how I'm reacting to Jane. Second, there's self management. Using that awareness to regulate your responses. It's thinking, I'm feeling defensive about this feedback, but I'll take a breath and I'll listen fully before responding. Third, there's social awareness, picking up on emotional cues from other people. It's noticing that your typically talkative team member is unusually quiet during a meeting, and you're wondering what this might mean. Fourth, there's relationship managing, using emotional understanding to build stronger connections. It's adapting your communication style for different people, handling conflicts productively, and inspiring others through genuine connection. And to be clear, using your emotions, recognize them, and applying them to situations, this isn't about manipulation. It's about creating environments where people feel seen and understood and heard and able to do their best work. something an algorithm can't replicate. So, right now, in this AI era we're in, and mind you, the nascency stage of it, but still, we're entering an AI era. Emotional intelligence, it matters so much more now because this is what's going to make you stand out as a leader. Here's the fascinating paradox of it all. As our workplaces become more automated and digitized, our emotional intelligence becomes exponentially more valuable. If you think about it, it's a lot of those manager versus leader arguments where AI may become an excellent manager, but it's still not a good leader at all. When a task becomes automated, what remains for humans is everything requiring judgment, creativity, ethical consideration, and connection. All of these things, they depend on emotional intelligence. So think of these leadership moments that AI can't really handle. When your team's paralyzed by uncertainty about a major change, they don't need more data. They need a leader who acknowledges their concerns while instilling confidence about moving forward. When team members are in conflict, they don't need an algorithm to optimize their communication. They need someone who can create psychological safety in that moment so that they can have honest dialogue and help people find common ground on the team. When someone's performance is slipping, they rarely just need technical help. There's usually something else going on, especially if it's sudden. They need a leader who can sense these underlying issues, whether they're feeling undervalued, overwhelmed, or just disconnected from the purpose in that moment. In these moments, the ones that define organizational culture and success, emotional intelligence, it's not just helpful, it's everything. Research backs it up. A 20-year study found that leaders with high emotional intelligence create measurably better financial results. Teams with emotionally intelligent leaders report higher satisfaction, lower turnover, and greater innovation. As AI handles more routine aspects of work, these distinctly human leadership moments will define your value. So let's spend a little bit of time looking at what emotional intelligence looks like in everyday leadership sort of situations. So here's a common scenario. We have the team setback. So if you have a low EQ, meaning having low emotional intelligence, the low EQ leader will say, "We missed our target. I need everyone to work harder next quarter. Let's go through where each of you fell short." Now the team, they're feeling blamed, defensive, demotivated. A high EQ leader, they say something like, "We miss our target," which I know is disappointing for all of us because we put so much work in together as a team. But before we look at these next steps, I'd like to understand what challenges you're facing and what support you need from me. You see the difference here? Now the team feels understood, collaborative, motivated to solve problems. Scenario 2, we had the change initiative, something else that many of us have gone through. The low EQ leader, they're saying, "The new system goes live next month. It's more efficient and the ROI is clear. I don't understand why there's resistance." Now the team feels invalidated, anxious, reluctant, because the manager's already saying that they don't know why there would be any resistance. So how can you show any resistance? But the high EQ leader, they're saying, "I know this system means significant changes to how you work. Many of you express concerns, which is totally natural. Let's talk through what feels uncertain and how we can address those concerns while we move forward." Now, you see how the team feels heard, respected, more open to change. You're not, as a middle manager, changing policy, but you're just doing a better job of leading your team. Scenario 3, an innovation discussion. The low EQ leader says something like, "Well, that idea, that's not going to work because we did something similar 3 years ago." Now, this team member is embarrassed, feels shut down, and they're not going to share any more ideas. But the high EQ leader says, "Well, that's an interesting direction. We did try something like this before. What do you see differently now that might make this approach successful?" And now this team member feels valued, engaged, and motivated to refine ideas. Do you notice this pattern? Emotional intelligence, it creates psychological safety, the feeling that you can take risks without fear of emotional humiliation. Google's extensive research found This is the number one predictor of team success, far above technical expertise or resources. And here's the thing. AI, it might eventually write a decent email, but it can't create this psychological safety. Only emotionally intelligent human leaders can do that. So how can you develop this EQ or emotional intelligence? The best news about it is it's not fixed at birth. Unlike IQ, which remains relatively stable throughout your life, emotional intelligence, it can be developed with practice. So here's three research-backed practices that make the biggest difference. First, you need to develop emotional literacy. Most of us, we have a limited emotional vocabulary. We're fine, good, or maybe stressed. Start naming emotions with greater precision. Are you disappointed or are you frustrated? Are you anxious or are you embarrassed? This simple practice activates different parts of your brain and it gives you more control over your own responses. Try this. Next time you feel a strong emotion at work, pause and identify it specifically. This tiny habit makes a profound difference. Second, practice perspective taking. Before important conversations, spend 30 seconds asking, what might this person be thinking and feeling about this situation? This isn't about mind reading or taking on all their emotions. It's about considering multiple perspectives before you respond. When a team member seems resistant to a new initiative, rather than labeling them as difficult, ask yourself, what concerns might they have? What past experiences might be influencing their reaction right now? Third, seek feedback specifically about your emotional impact. Most performance reviews focus on results and technical skills. Deliberately ask trusted colleagues, how do you feel after our interactions? When do I make you feel valued and heard? When do I not? This feedback, it might be uncomfortable, but it provides invaluable data about your emotional leadership. As we look into the future, the evidence is clear. Technical expertise gets you in the door, but emotional intelligence is going to determine how far you can go and how effective you're going to be as a leader. The organizations that thrive won't be those the most advanced in technology alone. They'll be those where emotionally intelligent leaders create cultures of psychological safety, where people can put forth innovation and new ideas, form meaningful connections, and have genuine collaboration to get things done. This isn't just good for business, it's good for humanity. In a world where technology increasingly mediates our interactions, we hunger for authentic human connection, now more than ever. As AI starts to handle more routine aspects of our work, your ability to build trust, inspire others, and navigate complexity with both logic and empathy becomes your unique human advantage. You could even call it the human unfair advantage. The future belongs to leaders who don't just try to compete with AI or what AI does best. You're not going to be able to write a research paper in 5 minutes, but instead you need to double down on developing what makes us uniquely human. Our capacity for emotional intelligence, ethical reasoning, and creating meaning through shared purpose. So the next time you hear about some amazing new AI development and you're terrified of that computer coming for your job and you think, my skills, they're going to be obsolete. Remember this. As long as your team is made of humans and not robots, your emotional intelligence is going to be your most valuable leadership asset. Robots, they might be able to analyze data at superhuman speeds, but they can't feel the energy shift when a team becomes inspired. They can't build trust during uncertain times. They can't make someone feel truly seen and valued. That's your territory, and it always will be. If you found this useful, stick around to learn more about balancing compassion and accountability to improve even further as a people leader.